Hey guys, today we're talking about the Xbox Series X, my review of it, what do I think of it after a whole day of playing with it, how do I like it? Well, overall, my initial opinions of it, I made an unboxing video about it. If you do not see it, you can see right there in the right hand corner, it says Quick Resume, new feature with the Xbox Series X with, of course, the new SSD. It's super fast when it comes to resuming games. You can be in a game and then go to the next game real fast, super fast, and it's really awesome for that factor. But I said in my video, my initial unboxing, I said it's a lot bigger than I thought. And to be honest, I will be doing an unboxing and review of the PS5 coming up very, very soon. And I don't know really my opinion of the PS5 yet because I don't have my hands on it. But saying off the Xbox Series X, it really is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Now, my media setup currently, it's definitely not as fantastic of an area, as a setup as I could have had, again, because I thought it was going to be a little smaller, but overall, it's not bad. It's not huge. It's not, humongous. It's obviously not the PS5, which, again, I'm not kidding, guys. It's actually really freaking big. It's a decent size. I'm not too mad about the size, but let's talk about the internals. So the internals is what's really important. And I'm showing you guys this in this clip right here where we're actually going ahead and switching from Far Cry 5, the Madden 21 back and forth. And of course, you have the quick resume feature, which is actually very cool, which lets you be able to just go right back into the game without having to restart the game. All that kind of great stuff. So that is definitely a big selling feature I know a lot of people are excited about. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be 120 hertz gameplay. Now, of course, that's 4K 120 hertz. Now, this is something that I know is really awesome about the Xbox Series X, but there is actually a downside to this, and the downside is there's not many people right now who have monitors/TVs with a HDMI 2.1 slot. Now, of course, my current setup is I have two monitors. I have a 3440 by 1440p monitor, ultra wide monitor, which is not 4K, and I have a 4K, which I'm actually gaming on right now, 4K UHD monitor. And you can see real fast, we go ahead and go into this. My monitor currently does not have a 2.1 HDMI slot, so it cannot do 120 FPS gaming. It also does not support HDR10. That's not really a big deal. But of course, I cannot go 120 FPS. My monitor is 60 FPS. My other monitor I have is 160 FPS. But even though this is a $1,000 LG monitor I have as my second monitor, it is not 120. It's not HDMI 2.1. I can't use this. So what this means is if you buy a brand new $500 console, you have to buy a monitor/TV with HDMI 2.1. And I really do not like that. And the reason why is because I know not everybody, and this is coming from a PC gamer, because I am a PC gamer. I have two $5,000 PCs I built. This is coming from PC gamer. Is now we're talking about, because for $500, 4K UHD, 120 hertz, that's really good for value. But if you are now saying you have to buy a $300-$400 monitor, maybe $500 depending on what monitor you want, especially if you want to get 4K. If you want to get 4K 120 hertz, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. We're talking about $600-$700, okay? Maybe up to $1,000 depending on what monitor you want. So now we're talking about $1,200 to get 120 hertz, 120 FPS at 4K. Now, that price will come down throughout the holiday season. And I'm expecting into early next year, the prices of these monitors and everything will come down dramatically. And this will be a lot better of value. But I can only evaluate it based on day one and the day it is right now. So right now, you can get a 2.1 HDMI slot TV. And I think you can get probably for maybe $500-$600. That's not going to give you 4K, but it's going to give you HD 1080p, 1440p, whatever. But again, it's not really clear which ones have it, and you don't really know unless you look at the back of the TV and you see it on the monitor. So you had to do some research there. But again, like I said, guys, Now you're adding different factors, and you can build a decent PC with probably a 3070, 3080 maybe, or even a 2080 Ti. That's 2080 Ti's that I can probably get them for like $500-$600 with the market, and you can get 4K 120 FPS. I can get 120 FPS on a 4K blower card 2080 Ti for pretty much, in that card I could get $400. I could build a whole entire rig, a PC, set up everything, and probably get that all done for less than $1,000. And I can get 4K 120 FPS. Now, the next thing I look at is the size. The size of this console is a little heavier than I expected, but the size is very small. It's really good for fitting it into different areas, not having to worry about it being all cramped up and, you know, like a gigantic PC tower or even a mid-sized tower like the NZXT Creative PC. Still very, very big. And that's the one thing I'll say about that. It is very good for size. But for price comparison, it's really not that amazing if you have to get a new monitor or a new TV. If you already have these things, then it's not bad. But for the average person, I don't think the average person already has a 120 hertz plus monitor with HDMI 2.1. Like I said, I have a beautiful over $1,000 monitor, but I don't have a monitor that has HDMI 2.1. I have to buy another monitor. I have to spend more money. So that's the big thing. Is I know a lot of people, they really want to talk about that. HDMI 2.1, 4K, 120 hertz, even 1080p 120 hertz. You need a new monitor or TV. So that I don't like. Okay, size I'm okay with. Quick zoom, resume, I like it. It literally loads up faster because it's an SSD. I love all that fact. Let's talk about the next thing I like, dislike about this console. So we don't have the games right now at the moment. Like, we do have some games. We have games like 2K. I think that is now currently next gen. If we go ahead and load into this real fast, I think 2K Mamba Edition is now going to be available, I believe. Yeah, I think that is actually available. Yep, the next generation Mamba Edition is now available. So you can get the next generation Mamba Edition. Now, games like NBA 2K, Madden 21, yes, they're all next generation versions of these games, but they're not really going to do much when it comes to adding different stuff to the game. It's not going to look that much more amazing because you use the Mamba Edition of NBA 2K or like a sports title. It's just simply not. I mean, yes, the graphics might look a little bit better, but at the end of the day, you're running it at 4K like I am, or you're running it at 1080p or 1440p. You're not running it at a point that's going to really show you that much of a difference. Now, one thing will say, though, is that the games that will show the difference are games like Halo, all games like Forza, Forza and Horizon, all those type of games, and obviously newer games like the new Call of Duty. These are games that are going to take advantage of the Xbox One's power. And I'm not saying 100%, there's no way in heck that these other games will go ahead and just not take advantage of it, but it's not going to take advantage of it to a point that you're really going to notice. And I think of sports games, they don't really ever take truly crazy advantage of any game. I mean, of any system. They're not pushing the system to the max level, stuff like that. And stuff like, like I said, like FPS games, stuff like, Call of Duties. Those are the games that you're going to see the true difference when it comes to gaming. And you're really going to see beautiful gameplay from those games when you get the next generation editions. So right now, we just don't have any next generation editions that truly, I feel like, will take advantage of it. Now, I believe Halo, if I am correct, I think Halo is out currently, I believe. I can check real fast. We can see the store, see what other next generation games are out. But at the moment, we just don't have any, true, buy this game. This is an Xbox One Series X game that's going to give you that next level content that makes it, you really see the difference. Yeah, so I don't think the new Halo is actually out yet. But again, like I said, I mean, we're going to see in the future, different games as we get closer to Christmas that take advantage of all this new content and really how great this actual game, this console really is. So overall, I do like the fact of, the new the new power that this console gives. And I think for the for the fact of just being able to just, hey, I'm just gonna I like console, it's easier for me, it's easier my setup. I don't want to do it with a PC or, trying to make a PC work, make a PC, play better or whatever. I like it. I like the simplicity of this console. I'll say that. I think the simplicity of this console is very nice. And for what you're getting for the price tag, which I don't really think the price tag is all that bad, it's not bad. I mean, PS5, we're going to have to wait and see my comparison between the PS5. But just playing this console, like I said, the quick resume, that's definitely something awesome. But I wanted to say this, and I know it's going to tick off a lot of people. This is not going to be much different overall wise than your old console if you're playing Xbox One games. If you're playing Series X enhanced games, you're going to see a true difference. But if you're just playing regular games, you don't have a 4K or 1080p monitor with 2.1 HDMI slots, and you're not taking advantage of the new power with the new, Xbox Series X games, you're going to just see the same exact thing from the Xbox One X. So if you personally speaking are like, if you're in the boat of saying, hey, I'm not going to get a new monitor, I can't afford a new monitor, okay? And you're like, hey, I'm probably going to not really get the Xbox One Series X games. I'm probably just going to get the games I like to play, and maybe those games aren't going to be enhanced or maybe not, different because they're just typical games that aren't Xbox One exclusive or Xbox One games that, Xbox is going to enhance. Then there's no point to get the Xbox Series X. It's really no point, because the point of this console is for the enthusiast and for the person who wants to be able to, get the brand new games and take full advantage of this console. Now, the one thing I'll say that I really liked that I kind of was scared about was I thought when they first announced this and then they announced the Xbox Series X, that I thought the game companies would mainly make games for the Xbox Series X and not for the Xbox One. I mean, sorry, the Xbox they make for the Series S, not the X. And what, based on what I understand, is no, they're all making games for strictly the Xbox Series X. And if you try to play the X on the S, I don't think the games will actually work. So I do like that. I think that's a really cool feature, and I think that definitely makes me feel more confident that I'm getting what I'm paying for, because I don't have to worry about that. I think that's something that, whenever the new console come out and there's two different versions, we always think, are they going to make games for the new console and they're going to make games for the old console? And I think right now we are really told that, hey, we're going to make games for this new X, and if you have an S, you can still play games, but there might be games you can't play on the S that you can play on the X. And I do like that. So overall, like I said, guys, this is a really good console. It has a lot of great things to it, but I think if you're not going to commit to really pushing this thing to the max ability and max capacity, it becomes to a point where I don't think it's going to be worth it for the average consumer. And I think it's going to be it's going to be worth it for a lot of people, but not everybody. I think this is a kind of more niche type of Xbox, depending on your setup and depending on a lot of, things you are currently doing. But it is next generation. That's another thing I want to end off this video with, is it's a next generation console. We are past the Xbox One console generation. And if we're past that generation, honestly, it gets to a point where you're going to have to upgrade eventually. And do you want to upgrade today? Do you want to upgrade down the line? Because in a year, there'll probably be a brand new Xbox. Maybe the Xbox Series X, maybe double X or something. I don't know. Maybe the triple X, that kind of gets a little into the adult film industry. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to be surprised when console comes out the following year. But this is a brand new generational leap when it comes to a lot of stuff. And maybe next generation, maybe next year, we'll see like 160 FPS 4K gaming. But at the moment, guys, this is actually really, really good console. I would recommend it if you are looking to take advantage and take your gaming to the next level. But if you are just strictly saying, hey, I don't have much money, I'm not going to upgrade my monitor, my setup, I just want the console, you're not going to see too much of a difference between this console and, of course, your Xbox One X. But again, like I said, guys, it's very awesome. Of course, the quick resume, stuff like that is very cool. Unless you get, I think if you play a whole entire game like I did right there, then it won't let you quick resume back into the other game, but it will if you switch real fast. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.